Hi, it's Chris, and we're trying something a little bit different today. Here's a timer. I'm starting it. Counting down. I have a piece of music to write. Let's try to get it done. Now, I'm working on a show right now. The name of the play is Dunsinane. And it's Scottish. In fact, it's like from the Scottish play. And I was really inspired by this Gaelic song. This is a style of primitive Gaelic singing that kind of like does this thing where like a leader throws out a melody and then the whole congregation chases after it. It's very pentatonic. And of course, this is Christian. It's not going to work for me. But I'm inspired by it. So here's my Logic template setup. And you can see template 1, template 2. Well, I'm up to template 5. So let's open up template 5. I'm going to load all the instruments that I have in my template. I'm going to have, any number of options. There I am there. Good. I'm going to have any number of options for instruments. But basically, I'm going to try to work around this experience, this beautiful sound of that group of people singing. Now, I think I'm just going to have to go with melodic instruments because I'm not going to be singing. But I've got plenty of interesting things to work with. So let's just see what happens. Now, first of all, the tempo that I have here is way too fast. So let's just set a decent tempo. I'm just going to guess at 80. And here's a click. When I'm yeah, that's better. When I'm working with theater pieces, I'm always thinking about it basically as scene change music. So I want to create an environment that gives me some color. Helps if I turn on my keyboard. Here's a bagpipe drone. That'll give me something to work with. All right, I can just drag that out over the course of this entire piece. I'm basically in D. You probably noticed that. Well, maybe you didn't notice it, but that's certainly the case. Want them to start right in the downbeat. Now, time for a melody. It's a question of what instrument to use for the melody, but let's be easy and just start with a flute. Now, I need to play around a little bit here, so let's just see how this works. You know what I want to do? I want to invert this. Nice. Notice that's fifths, right? So it's a fairly strong sound. All right, back to my flute. When you're playing flute, you got to make sure they can take a breath. I love those leaps. All right, I'm going to track that. that's better. As I was playing that, I thought to myself, you know, all those C's in the melody that leap down, this one here, and this one here. I think I'm sorry, E's, they'd be better as C's. I think. Yeah, the B is better. All right, let's double that with the feathered flute. This is a new instrument I just picked up. It's a contact instrument. It's meant to be kind of like a long held thing, right? Nice color. And a key harp, which is a Northern European instrument. Here you hear it bowed. But I think I want it plucked, pizzicato. Yeah, that'll be fun. Just doubling the melody, really, at this point. getting there. I feel like that drone is a little bit too loud. I've got a pretty good bagpipe. I wonder if we should double it with bagpipe. Do we need the drone on that? Probably not, right? This is an excellent bagpipe library. So right now it's set to double drop the drone in whenever it's there. I think I can make it go away. Yeah, I just need to give it a very lightweight key switch at the very beginning. We'll just do that. Yeah, good. All right. Start just following along with the flute. I never have written, this is not completely unwritten out, right? I mean, you see what's happening here. Now, I'm wondering if this would be better a little bit faster, so let's take it up. Hear it without the click. I think we need some like vocal chants or something in there. I've got a new library which I for some reason thought was in here, but it's not. Okay, I need to add an instrument. I'm just going to duplicate the track settings by just doubling this, but I'm going to change the instrument now. We're going to call this choir syllables. Now, it's not a contact instrument. It's a labs instrument. Or originals instrument. There we go. And I think what we want are men's short staccato syllables. I don't know, it might be a little bit grand, but let's just hear what we get. You know what? Let's try the melody. Why not? Who knows what we're going to get, but it might be fun. Again, we'll just follow along with the flute. I'm liking this. I want to add some drums, basically, right? We want to kind of get the rhythm in place now. And by the way, I'm conscious that my image has disappeared. QuickTime froze up. I mean, I'm asking my computer to do a lot, run all the samples. I'll bring QuickTime back in a second. Do you really need to see me? Probably not. I've got a whole drum group set up down here. Boink, right? Now it's back. And by the way, we should now save everything, right? I'm going to save the project. I'm going to put it in my Dunsinane folder, which is here. Come on, baby. So I actually have some full-on loops. So just hold things down and let them roll, which might be okay, but I suspect that I'll have a little more fun drumming on this. So we can always make that go away later. All right, liking what I'm hearing. We're going to take a cello and bring it in as the bass, I think. So this is the Cello Untamed library from Westwood. And you got to admit, it's got some interesting things going on here. Each of these samples is like an improv, right? You hear it? I don't think I want anything quite that intense. I like that. I like the fifth. So we can actually add a little bit of glue underneath that by shift clicking. Nice. All right, let's drop it in there. So let's emphasize the bass and not so much the top of that cello. Well, we've gotten to that chaotic place for sure. There I am. So let me just check my time here. I've got 3 minutes left. So this is generally the way I work when I'm doing something like this. I'll start off with a thought, an idea, a wish. I wish this would work. And just kind of slap paint on the canvas. The best I can hope for a lot of the time is that I'll wind up with enough that when I scrape away all the things that suck, I'll have a decent something or other. I might go in, I'm easily going to have to go in and remove bits and pieces of this. Very often that first impulse to the first melody is a really important thing that I have to be careful not to filter. I've got to examine my impulse to modify that first thought, best thought. And, you know, the best kinds of tracks for this sort of challenge, where I'm writing a bunch of pieces of music for a theater piece, very often come out of a kind of a combination of planning first, what's the template, and then intuition. And then after all that stuff gets slapped on there, I guess I would just say craftsmanship, the act of saying, okay, well, that needs a little more highs and that bass is missing, and geez, the reverb sound on the drums, not so good. These are all things that are in the back of my mind as I'm going, as I'm tracking, as I'm laying stuff down. And I'm always responding to the piece. I'm always asking myself, what's that piece of music asking of me right now? When you're doing theater, there's always a dialogue between what you know about the character and the story, what the action of the play, and maybe what the director is going to want. So there are battle scenes in this piece. There's long sections of, being outside and conflict between the invading British army and the existing Scottish royalty. And the Scottish royalty is essentially kind of that embodying that sort of witchy, Celtic, druidic, if you will, pagan, magical elements. And I like the idea of having something that's a little bit wild, a little bit out of control. Well, 50 seconds here. I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe, and ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos. It's amazing to me that, with everything, we wound up kind of coming down right to the last minute. I'll see you next time.